very shortly. Liadkor, I don't know about you, but I can hear those little sheep bells dinging.
Well, I can't hear the sheep bells dinging because, as you know, I cast without hearing a single sound from the game. That is something that I've been doing for quite a long time. But here we go, game number 5. Game number 6, actually. Take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 6 of your grand finals in Golden League round number 3. This is exclusive conclusion. And in the left corner, spawning in as our Chinese player in the color blue, it is Beastyqt.
And on the right side, representing Easy Esports, it is going to be MarineLorD playing as the red HRE. Match point for him, so as you said, exclusive conclusion is the theme of this match. But boy oh boy, this could be the exclusive conclusion for MarineLorD as well in this game.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. It is match point, and he has got a very good matchup here. For anybody unfamiliar with this matchup, Holy Roman Empire versus the Chinese is typically seen as a very favored matchup for the Holy Roman Empire. So Beastyqt definitely going to be in the defender's corner here, up against the ropes from the beginning of the game. But keep in mind, we saw this matchup come out earlier in this series, and we did actually see a Chinese victory come off. Even though, look, some would probably jump to call it a little bit cheesy, but MarineLorD, he's French, so he's a fan of cheese. He doesn't mind it. But I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what we've got in front of us, or what we've got in store for us today, because Beastyqt, he's the kind of guy who is definitely going to look to play heads up on a map like this.
Yeah, that's indeed the case over here for us. And we do see both of the players quite successful gathering sheep for themselves. Obviously, both of these civilizations benefit a ton from the sheep. So you supervise your mill gathering the sheep as well for yourself with the Chinese. And you can also buff your food eco with the prelate on the sheep. So obviously, on a map like this one, which is Mongolian Heights, having a lot more sheep than usual is actually a big talking point when we are talking about these two civilizations. So unlike a regular map that has 24 sheep lying around, this map has 38. So it's definitely worth having a civilization that can really benefit from having a ton of sheep, like these two, for example.
Look at that sheep underneath that supervised mill. There is nothing that makes me have sufficient amounts of wood than that right there. That is just absolutely glorious. Wow. Okay, and one of the things to note, okay, is typically when it comes to this map, you've got an option. Do I go for water? Do I not go for water? At least the Chinese has that. Not a lot of other civs have got that option, but China has that option, and they can very easily just say, I'm not even going to go water. I'm going to supervise the hell out of this mill, and we're going to have a party. And that's exactly what he is going to be doing here.
Yeah, party like it's 1280.
Yes, that is exactly how we like to party. I was going to reference syphilis, but that didn't come around to the 1400s. But we are going to be talking a little bit less about that and a little bit more about the game happening right now, because there is indeed an Imperial Academy going down, but an interesting position here. Doesn't look like he's got access to too many lumber camps sitting in the back of the base. So I'm curious what option or what way he looks to play this. Whether he goes for an early dynasty, whether it's an early second town center. I suspect it's probably going to be both. I suspect we're probably going to have double town center Song Dynasty straight into that castle age. But then the question is, how does he look to play it once MarineLorD behind this is thinking about Imperial Age, thinking about those triple relics?
Yeah, this is the concern here for Beasty, because you see that MarineLorD does have a fishing eco, and obviously that is going to delay his feudal age. You see that MarineLorD is yet to start building his own landmark, but that's going to buff up your eco quite a bit. So in the long run, this actually pays off quite well for MarineLorD. And MarineLorD also has one of the crossings already walled, and I think we could see the other two crossings walled very easily as well. And as you said, once the walls are set, once you have water control for the HRE, it's a straight line towards Imperial Age. So that could be a source of concern for Beasty. He could, however, go for that, 2000 Song Dynasty into a semi-fast castle approach and start focusing on palace guards. And with the supervising ability of the Chinese, you can really field an army in just a blink of an eye. And that is something that the HRE player has to respect. Even though I don't see a single unit from you right now, that doesn't mean that you won't have an army of 50 in 2 minutes.
We see villagers beginning to move forward and looking to drop that Barbican down on that shoreline. I suspect we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a BBQ on the shoreline. Great spot for it. And there it goes down next to the gold mine. Going to be guarding this central gate. It's going to be setting off that alarm for the rest of the game. So I suspect our observer probably just going to be looking to watch this game from the perspective of our Chinese player. But now we see walls up towards the north. That villager going to be coming back in. Might be looking to help out with the Barbican. Probably just going to be heading back towards the town center. It's lost a fair bit of health already. But at this point in time, you got to be loving the position of Beastyqt. At least he would be loving it. So many sheep underneath that mill. Just, oh, there's nothing more glorious than that because it becomes a real issue for the Chinese player when it comes to food. Obviously, in this game, you know, having a lot of food is going to mean that he's able to stay underneath that mill. He's going to be able to supervise it. And he's not going to have to worry about it at all. And we now see him actually beginning to work towards a second town center, stacking up 300 wood. And that stone mine going to be coming down, or mining camp going to be coming down on the stone outcropping now.
Yeah, and one other thing that you're getting with that mill having so many sheep nearby is a ton of tax as well, because you're getting that tax for every drop-off that you make. So that is going to be a ton of tax that you're talking about. We could do the math on that, on how much it is, but it's a lot. So how much is that actually? What is that?
If you want me to do the math, I can do it for you right now. 20 sheep. That's going to be 10,000 food. That's a lot of food.
Yeah.
And that's going to take a total of 1,000 trips for you to drop that off, which gives you 1,000 tax. But you're under the Imperial Academy, which actually gives you 2,000 tax. So you are getting, from your 10,000 food of sheep, you're getting 2,000 tax out of that bad boy. Now, obviously, you throw into account the fact he's getting wheelbarrow in. It's going to reduce that tax down as well because he's only going to be dropping it off in bits of 15 instead of in bits of 10. I mean, he still gets that one tax for it. But obviously, he's got the Imperial Official there. So even though it's 10,000 food, technically it's 12,000 food because the Imperial Official is going to be buffing that up by 20%. So, you know, China, there's not a lot of math, but all of a sudden, there's a huge amount of math.
So you're telling me it's a lot?
And I take it back. My math is terrible. It's not 10,000 food. It's only 5,000 food. So we gotta reassemble. We gotta look at our numbers because we gotta head back to the drawing board. We are struggling.
Okay, we can probably delay the discussion about numbers. Luckily, we have some more important things to focus on. We're going to leave this to chat. Like, this is your homework, chat, to figure that out. And ooh, there it goes.
It's happening. It's happening. MarineLorD with the Burgrave in game number 6. We literally have the grand finals. It is match point right now. The ball is in the court for MarineLorD, and not only does he look to shoot for a 3, but he does it from the half-court line.
Oh, such a weird decision, but it has a huge upside because this is where you don't expect it. Just think about that. The crossings are walled. Beasty isn't really scouting the opponent's base. This is not like Arabia where you constantly scout the opponent's base. You are sitting back a little bit more. You are focusing less on scouting the opponent. And on this map, we talked about this one. You have 3 guaranteed relics on your side of the river. So Arachne's Cathedral makes a ton of sense. And that's the reason why the Burgrave Palace is such a high upside landmark here, because your opponent isn't going to expect it, and as we discussed, he might not even scout until it's too late.
That's exactly it. This is a massive thing, and a lot of people might not even look at this and understand why is this a big deal. This is a massive deal because we now know MarineLorD is going all in, and he is going to be absolutely smashing down the door of Beastyqt. We talked about this. You know, what is Beasty going to be looking to do? Second Town Center Song Dynasty. That's exactly what we saw out of him. And you can see right now that he's got that Second Town Center up. He's got that Song Dynasty. He's going to be investing all of his resources into getting more villagers out. And the problem is that his enemy is investing all of their resources into units and now spots the Burgrave Palace. He knows he's in trouble. He's got to get to Castle ASAP. He needs to get crossbows out. This is serious business because there's a transport ship out as well. Going to be taking the units across to the other side of the river. He's not even going to be messing around with any of those walls. There's just going to be straight across a very nice little way to navigate around there.
Yeah, and look at that. Look at the immediate reaction. Multiple defensive towers being placed. Beasty knows fully well that he has no chance to respond to this one other than dropping towers, but obviously that delays his castle age. On the bright side of things, he's not super far away, and those men-at-arms are just now crossing the river.
Look how many men-at-arms there are. Oh, this ain't looking pretty right now for Beastyqt. This is match point right now. This could be terrible damage. Look at them marching their way in. You thought the wall was going to keep you safe. Well, I got bad news for you. The Chinese experienced this firsthand with the Mongols, and it definitely seems like MarineLorD is looking to bring it out with the Holy Roman Empire. You just walk around it, baby. You just walk around it.
MarineLorD has done something very similar to Viper in one of the previous rounds when they played Hillandale. Viper was English and he was very eco-focused. MarineLorD went for an aggressive play with knights and men-at-arms, and this is exactly what he's trying to emulate over here to an even greater effect, to be honest, because now those men-at-arms, even if they're not killing villagers, they're idling the eco. And that's the thing here. You have the eco lead, or at least the nominal eco lead for Beasty, but you're going to have 10, 15, 20 villagers constantly idle because of all those men-at-arms running across your base.
Astronomical clock tower coming down. We can see those arrow slits coming through, or at least those, what are they called? The Barbican slits? I can't remember exactly what they're called. The hand cannon slits. That's the one. Hand cannon slit's going to be coming down, and you can see this is almost like a little keep that he's got down here protecting this gold or this food income. But now Men-at-Arms going to be looking to come in underneath. Now he's already got the +1 range defense. Beastyqt manages to make it up to the 3rd age. Let's see how he defends, how he holds on. Keep in mind behind this, MarineLorD looking very strong, very capable. And more Men-at-Arms coming in. Beasty struggling to find a source of wood. He's got stone on the front side. He's going to be looking to get a keep up. You can see he's got supervision coming out. Plenty of villagers on there. And a monastery going to be coming up for MarineLorD. So he's going to be looking to store his relics inside that monastery.
I'm just now realizing, you pointed out the inability to access wood. This is a problem, because how would he respond to those men-at-arms? He needs crossbowmen, right? Does he have an archer range? No, he doesn't. Does he have wood to make a single nest of bees? No, he doesn't.
And now the villagers, you can see them with their daggers out. They do a lot of damage. You got to be careful. Keep in mind, a lot of sheep have been murdered, so those daggers are going to be extra sharp as they try their best to hold on. And you can see he's trying to gather up all of that stone, but unfortunately, it's not looking pretty. The villagers just standing idle underneath the town center. Beastyqt definitely getting pushed up against the edge of the fence right now. It is a struggle for him. And all of a sudden, we've got that archery range finally coming down, just being rushed up with a casual 6 villagers. The crossbowmen are going to be coming up, but look at MarineLorD. He's going to age 4. Oh my lord, this is a fast age 4. How is he doing this? This guy's got an absolute bazooka under his seat. He's just rocketing to the moon.
Welcome to the favorite build order of everybody on the rank ladder for the next 2 weeks on Mongolian Heights, because this is something that you're going to see a lot, I get the feel, because it is so effective. By the time Beasty realized what's going on, it was a little too late, and the idle time is just unbelievable. He had 20-25 villagers running circles around the town center for so long, and MarineLorD does have the fishing eco, he does have the Alchon Chapel, and as you said, now he's going into Imperial. Beasty won't be able to use that existing village lead to anything.
The best part is he's dropped down the archery range. He's like, all right, I'm safe. I've got my archery range. I can get my crossbows out. It's like, bro, MarineLorD is literally Imperial right now. What do you even do against that? As China, how do you react? How you got to act when a guy just comes up Imperial on your girl? This is hard stuff to deal with. And now MarineLorD hits that age 4. We see that Imperial age coming through. Villager count about to go to the moon. There's a 20 villager difference between these two players, but keep in mind, MarineLorD's got 3 relics in the bag. Beasty's got none. And MarineLorD is about to go to the moon. Like, quite literally, he is on the spaceship. He is docking right now. He's on... What's that place that they send all the spaceships from? Over in Florida. I can visualize it right now. I can see the SpaceX rockets as they touch down. Cape Canaveral. That's where MarineLorD is right now.
And hear me out on this one. Right now, what are Beasty's chances of limiting the access of MarineLorD to the remaining relics on the map? The ones that are on the side of Beasty here. Like, Beasty's so distracted cleaning all of this mess up that MarineLorD could easily yoink 1 or 2 more relics. And if he ends up with 4 or 5 relics, he's going to have 400 or 500 passive gold from those, which is essentially the same thing that you would get from a Ragnitz Cathedral with 2 relics inside. So if MarineLorD is able to get 1 or 2 more relics, he has the Burgrave Palace, and he's going to have essentially the same amount of gold income than what he would have from the Ragnitz Cathedral if he just decided to, play this passive. So this build is so powerful and so smart from MarineLorD.
And you can see there were actually prelates on the shoreline, and Beasty's actually walled up his relic in the back. He knows how important it is to keep that prelate from touching that relic, and there you can see the wall coming up. There is no getting through over on that side. So the only relics available are the ones that are on the west side of the map.
Well, west side is best side, and that is definitely accessible here. And a Carrack is an option. I think Vodka was highlighting that to us a couple of seconds ago, that, there are those towers from Beasty on the shoreline trying to prevent the enemy from fishing, but, well, guess what? A Carrack could make a quick work with all of those. Beasty, 84 villagers, MarineLorD catching up with 72, and you get the feel that now MarineLorD has a pretty considerable lead here. And I think part of that is also, to a certain extent, a mental advantage, because MarineLorD must feel happy that his plan worked out so well.
Yeah, he did a lot of damage. He caused a lot of idle time in those early stages, forced out the archery range, and then you know, then Imperial hit, and that was where it really got difficult. And look at this. We see is this going to be a full Horseman switch that he's doing behind this? He's going to Elite Horseman. Look at this. We're going to see a biology coming out very shortly from this. I can't believe it. He's just literally... Do we see even a landmark snipe potentially come out for the guy? Oh, could you imagine? Don't do him like that. That would be terrible.
No, like, I don't think you want to landmark snipe a Chinese player. It's just too risky, but if he runs into the eco of Beasty here with like 25 elite horsemen with biology, that's game over. Like, just look at the army of Beasty right now. He's got 10 crossbowmen with no tools to stop like 20 horsemen running into his eco, and 20 horsemen would just be the beginning. It's probably going to be a transport through. He's not going to get through those walls in particular. But as long as that transport is there, the option is there as well for MarineLorD. And you see Elite Horseman biology on the way. If he is playing this one smart, he's waiting for the key upgrades to come in, including range defense. That would be really helpful because obviously he needs to survive a lot of arrow fire from town centers. But he's doing the right things over here. And this is scary for Beasty at minimum.
Yeah, he's done well to survive up until this point. A lot of less players would have thrown in the towel by now, knowing that MarineLorD is in prime position. But we can see Beasty's working his way towards Imperial as well, starting to stack up those resources, and he's collecting his relics. He's got 2 on the way in now. Actually, just put 1 in the bag. So going to be heading out for that 3rd relic. And in fact, he's just picked up that 3rd relic. So he's going to be in a great spot. And we can see now that transport ship going to be moving out over towards the western side of the map. In the middle, we've got this stone wall that has come up for Beastyqt. So he's going to be trying his best to hold on. So the question here is whether Beasty, many do consider to be the best late game player, playing the best late game Civ, the Chinese, is going to be able to overcome the deficit in the early stages of the game that MarineLorD has dealt to him. We can actually see the landmark that's going to be coming up for Beasty in the back. It is going to be the Great Gatehouse, or at least what's that landmark called for the Chinese? The Great Gatehouse?
It's the Great Wall Gatehouse, I think.
The Great Wall Gatehouse, yeah. So going to be coming up for him in the back of the base. He'll be looking to improve the health. There it comes, the Great Wall Gatehouse coming up. So we can see that it increases the health of stone walls and gates by 100%. Also increases the damage of the units that are nearby to those walls by 50%. That's a lot when you consider the fact that they get a nice little range bonus when they stand up there as well.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like the transport ship is going to get taken down, but now we got a Carrack out there, so he's going to start smashing those buildings. And you see, look at that force building up for MarineLorD. I love his patience. He doesn't want to show his hand just yet, and Beasty has no idea about this one. He can't cross the river. He has no idea about those horsemen coming in. If MarineLorD shows up with 10 horsemen, Beasty can clean that up, and then he's going to have the chance to react to this. If MarineLorD shows up with 50, then there's going to be no chance for MarineLorD to react to that. And you see he's blasting his way through those palisades, and here come the horsemen. This could be a disaster for Beasty.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for him. We can see that he's got only 12 crossbows as his military right now, and Beasty immediately reacts. He's going to be looking to try and drop down a few barracks, I suspect. We can see the villagers moving back, and there's the few barracks that we thought that they would see, and indeed, he's going to be looking now to get out spears up against these elite horsemen as they begin to run rampage, like tiny towns in East Thailand with elephants in them. It is just looking like terrible damage all around right now. Beastyqt going to be suffering. Look at the beautiful villagers he's got out here. He's actually dropped down a nice little keep at the backside. They're going to be nice and defensive. He's going to be working towards getting those spearmen out. Veteran spearmen yet to be researched. Hardened spearmen yet to be researched. These are the first barracks that are coming out this game for Beasty. And now on the backside, we see more and more more and more elite horsemen going to be taking out villagers here. It's not looking pretty right now for Beastyqt.
It's not looking pretty at all. As he said, the upgrades are severely missing here for Beasty, and it's not his fault. He just didn't expect this push to come in at the time it did. And the concern now is that if you are switching heavily towards the spearmen, there's still the Burgrave Palace for MarineLorD, so he could easily start adding his own men-at-arms as well as the next wave. He has managed to do quite a lot of damage here to Beasty's eco, a lot of idle time out there. Still 105 villagers for Beasty, so he's not completely dead yet, but it doesn't look good for him right now because MarineLorD feels like he's 2 steps ahead compared to Beasty in this very moment.
It definitely feels like that, but I do feel like Beasty's got a way back into this. And keep in mind, it is Beastyqt. He is the type of guy who is not going to give up on a game until it is 100% gone. And you can see him trying to re-wall in the center here. eventually going to be broken through here. The horseman going to be able to jump behind it, and Beasty going to be making a scramble back towards the villagers, trying to keep those villagers alive, and indeed they do jump inside, but now lancers, or rather, no, those are horsemen, just going to be finding a couple of Imperial officials and villagers down towards that southern position, still in on the woodlines. We see more and more spearmen coming out. I think he's got that hardened upgrade coming through at the moment, but these guys are still Dark Age spearmen that he is struggling with here.
And all the Imperial officers are gone, so those upgrades take a tremendous amount of time to finish. There is just one officer supervising a lumber camp, and delaying those upgrades also means that it's going to take so much more time for him to clean up this bush. He's down to 96 villagers, having to flee back to his town center as well. As you said, there is a way back into this game for Beasty if he manages to stabilize, but you gotta wonder if MarineLorD is going to give him any breathing room here, because you get the feel the next wave is about to pop out. Looks like the stone walls in the middle will succeed, but there is still transport ships, so MarineLorD isn't going to stop with this push at all.
Yeah, MarineLorD is definitely not done with this push. The elite knight or elite horseman going to continue running rampage through the base of Beastyqt. He's going to be trying his best to keep his head above water, but he's really starting to suffer now. MarineLorD definitely pushing it down deeper, down further, and Beasty going to be struggling. We see units moving all across the map. Now going to be heading towards the food economy of Beastyqt. We'd love to see some walls come up from Beasty and try and hold onto this food economy a little bit better. He's got the keep there that's going to be able to defend, but now villagers going to be going down on the gold mine, villagers going down on the farm lines. It's not looking pretty right now as more and more villagers continue dying. MarineLorD on 121 villagers. Beastyqt continues to fall down. He's on 87 villagers at the moment. He's losing out on gold. He's losing out on food. Everything is idle. It's not looking pretty. 20 idle villagers right now. It's slowly but steadily falling down for Beasty. The castle in the middle continuing to unload upon the Barbican that is sitting there, and more units coming out. Crossbows trying to deal with these horsemen. I don't know if there's any possible way back into this game for him.
It's gonna be insanely hard. I mean, Beasty is bleeding from at least 100 wounds, and you see that the Landsknechte are making their appearance for MarineLorD out there. You can see that at the top of the screen. So he's ready for that spearman switch, and this is the concern for Beasty. He's barely surviving against this push. How is he going to hold off the next wave? He's dropping in villager count. He's got 28 army on the battlefield. That is unsuitable to stop a big push from the Landsknechte.
That is a great point, but he does have those nest of bees, and if there's anybody that can make the nest of bees work, it's got to be the nest of Beasty who can do it. But now we see the opening has been opened, or at least the hole in the wall has been opened. So the Landsknecht going to come in and look to try and make their ends meet over towards the front line. The spearman going to be trying to hold on. Nest of bees on the backside going to be firing off and doing out a fair bit of damage there. Not a bad amount of damage. Veteran spearman still yet to come through. I'm pretty sure we're starting to see hand cannoneers finally coming out now as well for Beastyqt. He's definitely thinking he's got a way back into this game. The nest of bees doing a lot of damage, as well as the bombards on the backside going to be able to provide a good single target damage. And it looks like he's managed to clean up MarineLorD's push over on this wood line. Beastyqt sitting on 78 villagers, MarineLorD on 132. So when it comes to reinforcements, MarineLorD going to have that advantage. The Beastyqt obviously on the China, the late game, the superior late game civilization. He's going to be in the superior late game the superior late game player's hands. The question is going to be whether that advantage is going to be able to be used here, whether MarineLorD is going to be able to abuse that difference that he's really got.
Yeah, MarineLorD has a gigantic lead over here, but obviously Beasty, if he can drag this game out, he's got a way back into this one. That's his only option, actually. So he needs to drag this game out a lot longer. A counterattack would be so useful here by Beasty, but he simply has absolutely nothing to send as a counterattack force. In fact, he only has 12 spearmen, 1 hand cannoneer, and a couple of Jugenu. Looks like in the middle, once again, the walls will be broken through. There is still a castle that's preventing MarineLorD from pushing directly into the base of Beasty. But the problem is that every once in a while, wave after wave of horsemen come in, and they are just ready to slaughter all those villagers. Looks like the quick walls are working out here for Beasty. Did they get it?
We'll find out another day, don't worry. Unfortunately, no, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it. Now all the elite horsemen going to be turning their attention towards those outposts, and look how quickly they take it down. Now beginning to move through. We've got bombards looking to take down that keep, and a whole bunch of Landsknecht together with horsemen going to be working to take this down. Bombards for Beastyqt going to be holding on it, looking to provide that single target damage. Looks like veteran spearmen also going to be coming through for Beastyqt's sacred site, getting captured up towards the northern position, and now horsemen going to be turning their attention attention towards those nested Beastie. You got to be careful here, Beastyqt. First one going to be going down. Second one going to be losing its life as well. Bombard going to be going down. Beastie trying to hold on. He's repairing all of that keep, but unfortunately, there's just not enough villagers there to keep it alive. The Bombard's on the backside going to keep firing off, and Beastyqt losing all of his seed. Insufficient wood! No! 2 words you never want to see on your screen. Oh, it's terrible damage, and Beastyqt continues to suffer, losing all of... Oh, more insufficient wood! Not now! Not now! The keep goes down! Oh, Lord! Oh, my Lord! Insufficient wood. Liadkor, not like this.
I feel like it's not about the insufficient wood anymore. It's going to be about the insufficient chances for Beastie. Too many wounds he's bleeding from, simply. He's unable to keep those alive, and now he's trying to get another keep up. I'm not even sure if that's going up out there, because the Bombards will open fire in a split second. Beastie is down to 79 villagers with 24 army only, and he's going to tap out. MarineLorD takes the final game, and with that, the final round of the bracket stage of Golden League.
What an absolute game that was. Incredible stuff there from MarineLorD. Beastyqt trying his best to hold on, but unfortunately, he lost the wood when it mattered most. He kept wood that entire time, and then as soon as it came to the conclusion, unfortunately, the climax just didn't hold out. So Beastyqt going to be tapping out there. 2-4 losers to MarineLorD. MarineLorD going to be very successful here. He's won a lot of these grand finals, and it's going to be another one that he puts in the bag, so he's going to be very happy with himself after that.
Yeah, he's going to be very happy with that. Indeed, MarineLorD, the element of surprise coming in as clutch in this one, really, because this was a game where he surprised Beastie. This was probably the first game where he managed to surprise Beastie, and it came in at the best possible moment. Beastie wasn't really expecting that landing, and by the time he recovered from it, MarineLorD was 2 steps ahead. Great game by MarineLorD. Probably his best performance. Like, if you look at all 6 games, I think this was the best game from MarineLorD.
Yeah, it had to be with the Burgrave Palace. I mean, the Burgrave Palace, impressive stuff. Now, fellas, I know that this has been the conclusion of the grand finals, but